Donald Trump is having a catastrophic morning. He is revealing his true cards right before he was set to meet with President Zelenskyy of Ukraine on Sunday. Donald Trump said, "You know who I spoke to first? I spoke to Putin." Essentially, Donald Trump saying he got his orders from Vladimir Putin. Here's what Donald Trump posted this morning. He writes, "I just had a good and very productive telephone call with President Putin of Russia prior to my meeting at 1 p.m. today with President Zelenskyy of Ukraine. The meeting will take place in the main dining room of Mar-A-Lago. Press is invited. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President DJT." I think Donald Trump is trying to set up Zelenskyy yet again with Vladimir Putin. He's holding this important meeting in a dining room. Just want you to think about the message that sends and the level of disrespect in the Mar-a-Lago dining room. Also talking about disrespect, when President Zelenskyy arrived in Florida today, here's what went down. He was greeted by no one from the United States. He was greeted by their own ambassador from Ukraine. Nobody showed up. And as Julia Davis, who does a great job covering this, says, not a single U.S. official was there to greet Zelenskyy upon his arrival. Once again, Trump is showing his true colors. Contrast Zelenskyy's arrival with the red carpet treatment that Vladimir Putin was given in Alaska, where Donald Trump literally rolled out a red carpet and made American soldiers get down on their knees for Vladimir Putin and roll out that red carpet. I mean, I'm not just saying that in a hyperbolic sense. Remember the photo of our soldiers on their knees in front of Putin? It's one of the most disgraceful images imaginable. That as Sergei Lavrov, Putin's right hand, was wearing the USSR shirt as well to kind of rub it in the United States that they basically control Donald Trump. Ilya Pomerenko from the Kyiv Independent writes, "Let me guess, Donald. Putin again whispered sugary compliments about how he's the greatest world leader in history, that a full Russian victory is just 5 minutes away, and that you'll make a lot of money, Donald, and business projects if you just agree to Russia's terms." And Donald Trump melted. And now he's once again going to start throwing maps around and swearing at Zelenskyy at Mar-a-Lago. This meeting is set up to be an utter disaster. Joni Ascola writes, "The founder and secret leader of MAGA," and it is a photo right there of Vladimir Putin. The account War Translated writes, "The Russian military bloggers are fuming, though, this morning as the proof that Putin's regime is showing them that Kupiansk is under the control of Russia, which it isn't. Ukraine won the battle at Kupiansk with its drones, is a video of 3 soldiers from Russia fleeing the city from its northern edge, while Russian, it's ridiculous. And the Russian military bloggers know that they're being fed utter lies. But that's what authoritarians like Putin do. That's what authoritarians like Donald Trump do. A quick reminder, make sure you hit subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are on our way here to 6 million subscribers thanks to your incredible support. So please hit subscribe if you can. Also this morning, while Donald Trump saying he spoke with Putin before the Zelenskyy meeting, Donald Trump also posted the following. One of Obama's most treasonous policies was to fund Iran's nuclear program. This is false. And ultimately, Donald Trump was trying to do a deal with Iran that was weaker than former President Obama's Iran nuclear deal, but go ahead. So Donald Trump then writes, "Democrats were going to take our way," or he reposts. This is from the President of the United States account. "Democrats were going to take away our fossil fuels so millions would freeze and starve to death. Democrats wanted to replace you with uneducated Mexicans who would be easier to enslave. People who vote for Democrats are dumb and suicidal." Like, I know this post won't get any coverage from corporate news, but Donald Trump saying that Democrats wanted to replace you, and I guess he's referring to white people, he says, with uneducated Mexicans who would be easier to enslave. And then there is an image of, I believe it's of Manhattan under a nuclear attack. This is the post that the President of the United States is making. And he makes posts like this every single day. Or Donald Trump posts the following. He starts, more attacks on Obama. Democrats are harping on POTUS's war on drugs while staying silent under Obama. And then he goes on to say, he said, we did double tap strikes all the time. In fact, we usually had a second predator in the sky waiting for intelligence to clear. So they're saying that under Obama, America did double tap strikes all the time. So first off, that's not true. Second, you're saying that you're admitting that you're doing double tap strikes right here, that you are out there engaging in these heinous and despicable war crimes off the coast of Venezuela. And you don't see a difference between the war that was taking place, like an actual war, and you just killing people in fishing boats off the coast of Venezuela. I don't, let's be very clear. If war crimes are being committed, I don't care who the freaking president is. But this is what Donald Trump is posting this morning. Also, Donald Trump is announcing peace between Thailand and Cambodia. If you're like deja vu, didn't he say that? Yeah, he said that before. Donald Trump goes, I'm pleased to announce that the breakout fighting between Thailand and Cambodia will stop momentarily, and they will go back to living in peace as per our recently agreed to original treaty. I want to congratulate both leaders on their brilliance in coming to this rapid and very fair conclusion. It was fast and decisive, as all of these situations should be. Fast and decisive? What are you talking about? War broke out under you, Donald. War is continuing under you. And this seems like you mention this every single week. Another peace, war, peace, war, peace, war. This is your fault right now, and you have no clue what you're talking about. By the way, take a look at how Ground News is showing this article. So Trump congratulates Thailand, Cambodia leaders on ceasefire. So if you wanted to see, is the left-wing media covering this? Is center media covering this? And is right-wing media covering it? I think this gives away the whole game right here. So the quote-unquote center media, they're covering this, and right-wing media is covering this. Why? Because right-wing media is giving Trump the propaganda, and the center, and this is one of the big problems, they just regurgitate Donald Trump's talking points. And that has devastating consequences when they do that, because they just say, Trump said, we bombed Nigeria to protect the Christians. Trump said that he's done 8 peace deals. Trump said, when you go with Trump says, guess what? He lies about everything. And by the way, that's why I'm often asked where I get my news from. And one of my top news sources, my go-to news source, is Ground News, which I just showed you there. It's a subscriber-funded app and news site. And every day they pull in thousands of articles from around the world and organize them by story, and then show you what the right is reporting, what the center is reporting, what the left is reporting. It's a game changer, because as active, responsible citizens, we must get our news from reliable sources. In Trump's America, being informed about facts and media bias is the most important thing you can do. But that's why we love Ground News. For every article, they also tell you, did a media conglomerate put this news out, or was it independent media? And they also list the degree of factuality, which is interesting, as there are a lot of news sources from media conglomerates that have mixed or low factuality. Independent media seems to have a higher factuality, but you get all of that with your Ground News Vantage subscription. I especially like their blind spot feed, which highlights stories that are disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum, like the story I just shared with you. So join us by going to ground.news/MTN and get 40% off the Ground News Vantage plan that I use every morning. They are subscriber funded, and by subscribing, you're not only getting a tool we all need today, you're also supporting our work here on this YouTube channel. Go to ground.news/MTN, and we pin the link to purchase your subscription below. One more time, go to ground.news/MTN, and we pin the link to purchase your subscription below. So go and check that out right now. Now, additional things are going on this morning that I'd like to share with you. So let's just go through some of that as well. You had Donald Trump's Small Business Association head saying that Kelly Loeffler, she's a billionaire, and she runs the Small Business Administration. And she says that all these small businesses are so happy right now, they're thriving, and they can't wait to pay their taxes. First off, you're speaking to a small business owner right now, they're not happy about this economy right now, how the tariffs have impacted them. But according to the Trump regime and their billionaires, the small business owners are thrilled. Here, play this clip right here.
Look, small business optimism is really spiking under President Trump after 4 very difficult years under Joe Biden. Look, small business optimism is above its 52-year average. And according to the U.S. Chamber, in the third quarter, it reached all-time records. And a lot of it thanks to the working families tax cut, that small businesses finally have certainty about what their tax rate's going to be, that 20% pass-through deduction, now the 179 expensing. That means that higher limits on the ability to expense immediately for purchases they make in capital equipment, and also R&D expensing. So I don't think small business owners have ever been so excited to pay their taxes thanks to President Trump. He brought us the blue-collar boom in his first term, and now he's going to add to that the small business boom.
What are the things?
Then you have Scott Turner, who's the head of HUD, Housing and Urban Development. And here's what he's got to say. Let's play his clip because he's asked about Trump's 50-year mortgage. Let's play this clip.
I did mention it before, and I'm going to ask you again about the 50-year mortgage. That's a really out-of-the-box idea. The immediate criticism was it would lock younger people into longer interest-paying payments. Do you believe like something like a 50-year mortgage could actually work for people?
You know, I think it's yet to be seen. It's very early. I think more research needs to be done on a 50-year mortgage and the other ideas that have been put forth. Because one thing from HUD's standpoint, from my standpoint, we want to make sure that the housing market is secure.
Then you've got MAGA Republican Congress member, oh, he's actually not MAGA. He aids and abets MAGA. Mike Turner, if there's someone who can be viewed as somewhat centrist, I guess Mike Turner, but by enabling Trump, you'll see here, I consider him MAGA. So you tell me what you think about him. But here, Mike Turner is asked this morning, what side of the Russia-Ukraine fight, the one with the invader or the one being invaded, do you think that Donald Trump is on? Play this clip.
Which side is Trump on? Clearly, Trump is on the side of peace, and he's trying to balance these two forces, which is very, very difficult to bring these two parties together. But in balancing it, we have to understand that Russia's goal is to take from someone else something that's theirs, and Ukraine has to have a sense of security assurances that Russia's not coming back.
But can I just ask, because Trump has repeatedly said that Ukraine never should have started this war, or words to that effect. I mean, Ukraine didn't start this war.
Well,
they were invaded.
Clearly.
So how does that affect his effort to try to broker a peace deal?
Clearly, a war of aggression is started by Russia, and it has been started by Russia. Yeah. And I think that Trump's sense of wanting peace is incredibly important, and I think it's a noble goal. And I think we're getting closer. I think that Zelensky's coming with a plan that is workable and that could get us there.
And then I want to give a hat tip to my guy, Bernie Sanders, Senator Bernie Sanders from Vermont, and he's channeling an issue that we talk about here all the time on the MeidasTouch network. These data centers that are being built in all of these communities, there needs to be a moratorium on them. They need to be stopped. The environmental impact, the economic impact, the impact on the costs of people's energy bills. This needs to be analyzed in a rational way. It needs to be debated and discussed. Here's what he's talking about this morning. And as he said, the issues that are most important to lots of people are the ones being least discussed, which is why he brings this up. Here, play this clip.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things I think we need to do, and right now, among many other things, we're seeing data centers sprouting all over the country, raising electric bills for people in the communities, etc. I think we need to be thinking seriously about a moratorium on these data centers. Frankly, I think you got to slow this process down. It's not good enough for the oligarchs to tell us it's coming, you adapt. What are they talking about? They're going to guarantee health care to all people? What are they going to do when people have no jobs? What are they going to do? Make housing free? So I think we need to take a deep breath, and I think we need to slow this thing down. One way to do it would probably be a moratorium on data centers.
The CEOs would.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers, and thank you for watching. We appreciate you.
New Midas merch drop. Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.MeidasTouch.com.